Have you ever wondered why that 3 p.m. energy crash hits harder than it used to? It's not just the workload. So let's face it, that menopause journey, that menopause transition can leave you with all sorts of hang-ups, hangovers, and it can create a lot of impact in your work environment and how you work. So my name's Tracy Montgomery. I talk about all things menopause, midlife, and all the crap that goes with it. So let's get a few things straight, okay? During the menopause transition, we normally, and this is what we do, it's verbiage that we talk about menopause being that hormonal shit show, the time when we have all the symptoms and we come out the other side of it and that's it, menopause is over and done with. News. So we're in premenopause. That's when our menstrual cycle is as normal. We may get the odd symptoms as we come up to perimenopause. So perimenopause is the hormonal shit show. We don't know how severe it's going to be. We don't know how debilitating it's going to be. And we don't know how long it's going to last. Good news is, at some point, we will come out the other side into postmenopause. There may be some hang-on, latent symptoms that keep on into postmenopause. And you're in postmenopause until you shuffle off. That's the way it is. So they're the phases, and they can impact us greatly. So we know that there are a lot of research out there that shows that women going through the menopause transition are being adversely affected due to some of these symptoms. So some of these symptoms that can reach and cause more burnout are the ones that leave us more fatigued. Myself, personal experience, as I've gone through the menopause transition, I've been left with chronic fatigue. And it's something that I've learned to manage. I have to set up boundaries. I have to think an awful lot about what I can take on because of the fatigue implement. And that, because you get the chronic fatigue, it doesn't necessarily mean that you are sleeping more. Doesn't necessarily mean that you have energy spurts. It could mean that you have low level energy for a lot of the time, and then you get overwhelmed with other things as well because of the energy levels. And that's because of the hormonal change. Hormonal profile has changed. So it can affect how much you can take on. It can affect how much you can do. It can affect how you think. Your cognitive ability can be impaired by this change in hormones. And that can, in turn, affect your productivity. So that can mean that you're not getting as much done as you used to do. And then that's when we get this spiral where we can start to stress. Our stress responses are not as they were pre-menopause. Do you see what happens? We have this snowball effect happening now, and we can become very quickly burnt out. Now, that can be in our home life, in our relationships, in our workplace. We know that more menopausal women, midlife women, are leaving the corporate world, are leaving their jobs due to menopause symptoms. And burnout associated with your hormones, associated with the menopause transition, is high impact. Let's face it, the majority of managerial positions occur post 40, 45. Be you male, be you female. This is when women may start to have hormonal changes. So that can then impact on your career, how you're thinking. You then get anxiety about the fact that your performance is not as good as it was. So you get performance anxiety. Oh, big snowball happening. So, solution frameworks. We need to put in place boundaries. We need to set up lifestyle modifications. What we think we can do, what we can actually do are two different things. What we used to do in our 20s, we can't then do in our 40s, 50s. It's just the way it happens. And we have to manage that. We can make adaptations within the workplace if we have got employers who understand the impact of the menopausal transition. They can make adaptations, they can make adjustments to your work life. But we can also look at income diversification, as in you can add more income that's not going to impact your energy levels. So we could think more about flexible ways to work. Now, that may be something that your workplace can adapt and adjust to so that you're working more on your timelines. Maybe you need to finish a little bit earlier. Maybe you need to work from home more. That may be possible. There's also, for a number of us, that can't happen. The position that we're in does not have that flexibility. So we need to look at additional, different ways to create income. There are lots out there. And I know, because we're of that age, that some of you are going to be a bit reticent for some of the income strands that are out there. So we can work on our own time, we can work at our own pace, we can work at our own pleasure, so that we have a work-life balance, harmony, balance. But we need to think about what we are capable of doing and what we are willing to do. And they may not be what we are used to. So 9-to-5 jobs or working traditional jobs, adding extra life work is not as it used to be. There are different and more opportunities out there. We don't have to swap time for money so much anymore. We can capitalize on the internet. We can capitalize on working from home. We can capitalize on social media. And I know some of you are going to be reticent. And I know some of you are going to say, I can't do this. And I know some of you are going to say, I don't want to do this. That's fine. If you don't want to do it, fine. If you want to do it and you want to look at different ways to earn money so that you're not so stressed all of the time, so that you're working at your time. And yes, you can have a normal 9-to-5, swap the amount of hours that you work for your pay. I do have a job at the moment alongside other income streams. It's possible. So if you want to look at ways that can help with your fatigue, not be so stressed so much, and you're open to learning different ways, then drop me a comment below and we can talk about alternative income streams that are not so time consuming and not so energy draining and that can help you gain more. Hope that has been useful. Drop a comment below. We can talk soon. Bye for now.